amazing um, our amazing event today. Again, if you weren't able to hear me at first, I'm sorry. My name is Taquanda from the Division of Communications, and you are now watching what we are deeming as Welcome Back EMU Safe, where we are sharing some amazing things that departments are doing as we're gearing up for students to return back on campus this week. Some folks have already started to return last week, so we're going to get into a little bit of that as well as this past weekend. But you know how we do if you've been right here on our Facebook or our YouTube Live. And welcome to all of our Twitter followers that are watching us today. This event that we are specifically doing today live is specifically on this topic of returning back to campus, and specifically with ASP. So we're going to talk a little bit about them as well as the programs that are within their department with Elise today. And again, if your questions are pertaining to these departments as well as to Elise, by all means, please drop them in the comment box. But if your questions aren't pertaining to that, we're going to ask for you to send us an email at social_media@emich.edu, or you can drop them in the comment box and we'll get to those a little bit later. But again, we want to stay on hand at the topic on hand today. So I'm excited to get started. We are a little bit behind schedule due to some small technical difficulties, but thanks for kicking it and joining us today. Again, if you're watching through Facebook, go on ahead and hit the share button right now, as well as hit the retweet on Twitter. And you cannot just be chilling on YouTube and not hit the subscribe button. So go on ahead and make sure that you hit the subscribe button to be notified anytime that we go live here on Eastern's channel. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and get started. Hey, Elise!
Hello, it's been too long.
Listen, it has been too long. Usually I come over to her office, which is a couple buildings by, and with COVID being the way that it is, we are both either at home or sometimes in the office, but we're not on the same schedule. So it's good to see my friend today. So
great to see you as well. Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do over at ASP.
Well, I've been at Eastern a little over 10 years now, actually closer to 11, but I direct academic success partnerships, and our department is referred to as ASP. We began as ASP back in 2012 to equip students with relevant skills and training to be active learners, focused on persistence and degree completion. That is our primary goal. Our commitment provides support beyond the classroom to help students manage work, life, and their professional development during their collegiate experience.
I love it. And I know that there are a lot of departments that are within ASP, right? So I want to talk a little bit about that in a minute, but let's talk about the adjustment that ASP has had to endure as far as helping our students, especially during this time. Like, how was that for you as well as your team?
Oh, well, we definitely had a lot of quick shifting and flexibility that was required. Not only did we have the global pandemic that everyone acknowledges with COVID-19 and coronavirus and how that persists, we had to deal with the mental anguish and everything that was going on in the big Black Lives Matters push that happened. And the sandemic, as it's often called, it just was a lot for us to make sure that we took care of not only our students, but each other. And our department did a great deal of touch-ins and provided support to the staff to make sure that everyone knew if you had anxiety, emotional issues. Isolation was hard for us.
Yes.
We interact with
me too. Me
yes, too. And that was hard. It really made it difficult to have our regular touch points and our opportunities to really be in the face of the students, because you can do so much via Zoom, but our stuff is outside of the classroom, and it requires a great deal of connection, community building, and that's really huge for us. We were still successful, and we are looking forward to starting the semester with our students returning and some new students joining us. So actually, it's almost like 2 new freshman classes if you think
right,
sophomores. So
yes,
yeah. So we're excited.
Well, we most definitely are excited too. I think one of the things I loved about your team is that even during the pandemic and as we were like slowly but surely kind of transitioning back to in person, they did a TikTok dance and they shared it on social, and we absolutely ran with it, and we were like, "Yes, this is the stuff." That we love to see, because like if you can go back and watch the video, it's on our page. But one of the things I loved about your team is that everybody like joined in, like they were social distant, but they were having a good time, and they were just showing like, hey, we're still here to support the students, but we're here to have a good time. Like, it's okay, it's okay during this time frame. And I absolutely loved it.
Well, let me just say they have finished working very hard and had a really, really
Yes.
busy day. That was at the end just to unwind, and that was necessary. And they really enjoyed that experience. You
Well, we
definitely,
enjoyed it too.
I'm glad.
We enjoyed it too. I literally hit a beer, was like, send that to me. This is great, because I
Yes.
know how hard it was. I mean, especially, the semester and finals had just gotten through, and, they, like you said, it was one of those releases and everybody was having an amazing time. And I absolutely love seeing that.
And it was nice because the professional team really, and a couple of graduate assistants really got in it, and everybody played their part either behind the cameras and in front of it. And I'm glad their energy was infectious
Yes.
and went viral, by the way.
Listen, and I love it. As you know, I absolutely love it. So I want to talk a little bit about that team. So what does your team look like as far as that ASP and the services that you provide?
Well, I will say that it's important that everyone understands the unique dynamic that we're in. Our position is we have pre-college programs, and that is our Gear Up and College Day, KCP College Day for King Chavez Parks College Day. So right now we're going to be working with eighth graders at 5 different partnership middle schools. So that's been fun.
Wow.
And we've continued some programming, some distance, a nice in-person summer experience at one of our schools. So we've been busy on the pre-college front, really trying to get students acclimated and prepared to come to college.
Oh, that's awesome.
The My Cup Beat program, which you alluded to, Amir,
Mhm.
Amir Franklin is the coordinator for that, and that program supports transfer students. The My Cup side works with transfers from Henry Ford College and Wayne County Community District.
Okay.
Yes, so that is a really nice undertaking. We work with the various, what do I want to say, the branches or different campuses, excuse
Yeah.
me, of Wayne County. And Amir does a lot of wonderful interactive things with students who are close to finishing their
Mhm.
associate's degree that want to continue and persist to earn their baccalaureate degree from Eastern Michigan.
That's awesome.
So that one is very popular. The beat side that he also handles is for transfer students, regardless of where they come from. And
Mhm.
that one is newer as well. These grants come through under the King Chavez Parks initiative through labor and economic opportunity from Michigan Workforce Development. So we're grateful to the state of Michigan for funding and really providing nice grants for us to provide some services. I would like to say beat that scholarship is really proving to help students come to Eastern and persist. So Amir is doing some good work and really trying to work not from the admissions angle, but to
Mhm.
help demystify what college could be at the 4-year institution and support them
Right.
while they're here. We also have the transfer um, honors college here, not
Okay.
honors college, but what is it called? Uh, the transfer. Oh, it's slipping my mind right now. The honors, not sorority or fraternity. You know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you. I think we know what you refer to, the honors organization for.
Yes, yes, for
Yeah.
specifically who are transfers, and
Okay.
Amir is over that as well. So thank you for helping me work through that. It's
It's no problem.
Tau Sigma is the name. So
Okay.
they do a lot of great stuff and really exhibit a lot of leadership.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So, even I like the fact that when you were talking about the transfer programs, and I think a lot of a lot of students, when they first get on campus, like, this is a great conversation to have. Like, we've been doing some virtual interviews as far as hiring, as far as our students are concerned, coming back to campus. And one of the things that I'm learning, even within this last week or so, is like there are a lot of individuals who are transferring from either, a community college, or were completely doing online learning and then decided that they were going to go to, a 4-year institution. And I think it's really, it's really great that we have these programs out here that are here to help our students be successful and help them transition to, I like to call it, 4-year life, right? Because literally 2-year and 4-year life is something different, for each person.
Absolutely. And we are very sensitive to the fact that a lot of the students that transfer to Eastern are adult learners and they're child rearing, working full time. And actually, when we look at our data, quite a bit are working at least 30 hours or more each week, plus coming to Eastern, plus trying to engage and remain active. So we have done quite a few things to make that interaction fun. We do a lot on our learning management system Canvas to engage and make sure the students get the information because we understand they have really busy lives. But we are very excited to not only have our Mic Cup, our BEAD, our Tau Sigma program. We definitely are moving forward and engaging more transfers since, Eastern has a lot of students that transfer here, and we do not want to ignore any student demographic whatsoever.
Right. And that's one thing I absolutely love about the university is that, overall, like we make sure that everybody is taken care of, from our incoming freshman class to our transfer students to our commuter students, as well as international. That's one of the things that always drew me to Eastern. I call it the great melting pot, because of the simple fact that
Great.
literally you get the best of every world, I feel like, when it comes to Eastern and what we do here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One thing I will say is from our department, we really focus on trying to support our students. I call them scholars most of the time. Our scholars, we look at them to help them become committed.
Oh, that's good.
To
Yeah.
reaching your goal, to making sure you do what it takes to reach that goal. Sometimes it's not comfortable, but the commitment must be there. Communication. Oh, it's really important to get a lot of students, especially our FIDIACs, our first time in any college students, to understand the importance of being very proactive about their learning. We really try to instill some academic rigor and some stamina to endure because college may not be as easy as high school. So we provide a lot of study skills and time management, organizations, workshops, all the programs in their various stages help the students in different areas. One of the things that, in addition to commitment, communication, cooperation and community building is really key. But what governs our work, one thing that me as the director really find that's useful is we have taken the Casey Foundation life skills into 7 domains, and we've adapted it to our work. You can't see the poster up in my on the wall, but it deals with education as the cornerstone of everything that we do, right? That's why we're here. We help drive and help demystify the admissions and academic supports for the students once they come. And then if there's coaching, mentoring, we do that.
Right.
Finances and employment is important. A lot of our students work and school. Housing, we really support students in housing. Magic does that better than anyone. And Lachey Webb is the coordinator for that. We look at health and wellness and relationships, making sure students have healthy relationships and what does that look like. Understanding and being able to articulate identity.
That's good.
Our campus supports, we plug them into the different programming and things that's happening over in DCI. We really, really like what they're doing over there under the direction of Dr. Stephen Bryant. And life skills, that's huge. That is a big undertaking to make sure that the students know what it takes to survive and be a thriving adult and contributing to society.
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Domains is what drives our work.
Mm-hmm.
So
I do, and it being I love it because being a two-time alum is just so important, and especially coming from different aspects of life, right? Like we really don't know what need each student has, and being able to grab into what you just highlighted allows for our students to know like you're covered on all sides, and I think that that is just so important.
yeah, and that's important because we come from a try to be very non-judgmental
Absolutely.
and support the students to understand that we are all human,
Mm-hmm.
and if we get to our own level at different places and adjust and adapt to make sure that we touch on points to help the student be whole. So we're very intrusive with our work.
Yes.
We're not shy about that, and we work through it. And we definitely instill accountability and an understanding in the students for their progress and making sure that they learn how to reach out, ask for support, use these supports because I mean there's plenty of supports even in housing. We
Mm-hmm.
encourage them to use the university, what's the community planners and the resident advisors. Residence Life have really been great partners with us. We also, very happy with our relationships with faculty on our campus, the staff in various areas support us tremendously with really helping to drive what they do to our students. And Eastern does a great job at the department level with staff and getting staff to talk to students and really getting them out there to be approachable. I can honestly say that financial aid, UACDC, which is our advising and career development arm, really does support us and provide really great liaisons that work specifically with our students. So I'm grateful for those avenues. And the registrar has been completely just wonderful working with us this summer. It's been a process, particularly.
Listen, I can only imagine like that's one of the things I absolutely love about like the fact that hey, like everyone reach one, everybody helps somebody else out. Like it's just because of the simple fact that this is what we've been dealing with for over a year. So
Yeah.
all can't do our job, without somebody else. So
Yes.
I
And even before the pandemic, what I can say is the relationship building here at Eastern and the
uh-huh.
connection, it goes back to what I was talking about cooperation and the sense of community. I find that really does help. I'm still going to continue to ask for more resources for our
That's
area,
right. We got to. We
continue
got
to
to.
support students because we are often marginalized groups and we don't,
Mhm.
we should not be. And I really definitely am excited about the potential that always shows up each fall. And our students are doing very well.
That's
Some of our
good.
students have gone on and are successful in various career endeavors, and we are more than grateful when they come back and touch base with us and let us know how they're doing and showing us pictures of wedding pictures, their children, and just where they're landing. I'm always excited to see people persisting and going on to earn their PhDs and have their own successful careers in whatever field that they choose to go into. But
Right.
we always drive home the spirit of reciprocity to give back and really engaging and supporting more students. So we're just continuing to just thrive. Magic, I do want to make sure.
And that was actually what I was about to ask next was about magic because I've only known a little bit about the program and the emphasis of what it is and I'm pretty sure some individuals may not know that it even exists and the power that lies within this particular program. So I'm gonna quit talking and let you finish to tell me about it.
So Magic, thank you. Magic is getting ready to enter its 10th year on our campus, which is
Wow.
exciting. So 9 years of really supporting students who have experienced foster care. It a sad statistic, but a reality is 3 to 10%, only 3 to 10% of the youth who experience foster care attend and attain a college degree.
Mm.
And so we are doing our part under the direction of the head life skills coach and program coordinator, excuse me, Lachey Webb.
Mhm.
She is also a two-time graduate of EMU.
I know Lachey. She's good people.
She is just a wonderful individual that connects well and finds resources. And we partner well with the EMU Foundation to really garner financial support to continue to do some of the things that we need to do for our students. But the Department of Health and Human Services in our state provides this grant under Youth in Transition. And that particular program, the goal is to really help. Well, Magic is dedicated and committed to increasing those graduation rates for EMU students. Lachey and her team really provide academic coaching, independent life skills and workshops on a regular basis, community connections for the students who participate, financial support, mental health services, and mentorship is a component. So again, Magic mentorship, access, guidance in college is geared specifically for students who have experienced foster care. Some of the misconceptions sometimes is that Magic supports all students who are housing insecure or couch surfing or homeless, and that is not what Magic does specifically. It has a specific audience, and we are grateful with the progress that they've made. And if anyone is ever interested in learning more about this or other programs, please feel free to reach out. We have data. We definitely have numbers and really could use your support, especially any alums out there.
Yes, I love it. And even with like and even with like Magic and such. So is Magic just an automatic program that individuals get put into like once they're transitioning from high school, leading into the 4-year experience, or was it something that they would have to like research about in order to know that, hey, this resource is made available to them?
That is a great question. Thank you for that. Most of the time, because these students typically work with a caseworker, they reach out to us.
Okay.
Our team has done a dynamic job over this last 9 years, really building a great relationship with the people in the various service industries for students from this demographic. However, sometimes we do miss some people that transition here. Financial aid has been a support to help us with the limitations that they have
Right.
to identify, because we do not have a question specifically asking that on the application. However, there is a question on the FAFSA that sends up a flag that lets us know this person has the potential of being a participant. And then we do some checking and go from there. But if anyone has anyone that know of anyone who has experienced foster care and is interested, they should definitely reach out so we can verify and see if we're able to support them.
Oh, I love it.
In addition to that, there are other services that they really benefit from. They get ETV funds from the state, and definitely Shay coordinates a lot where she can to help with housing. We really try to provide some book support for those students, and make sure they have a great start to the fall semester as too. So I know maybe a couple of them has moved into like our brotherhood and sisterhood students. They moved in.
Yeah, because I want to talk about that too, because they listen. Elise pulled me in. They pulled me in. What was it, 2019? It was like, hey, come speak to our brotherhood, sisterhood folks. And I was like, okay. And I absolutely, now I'm deemed as, well, at least for that cohort, I'm deemed as Auntie T. So I have a very special brotherhood, sisterhood has a very special place in my heart. So we'll talk a little bit about them too.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. But we definitely, with everything that we do, looking at the mission of Eastern and how we have our institution core values, we try to use that to guide our work, with the excellence, the respect, the inclusivity, responsibility, and integrity. We really aim to do that in our work, and we instill that in the students. So we do not take what we do lightly. We do our best to help the students persist, and really genuinely everyone on the team wants the best for the students.
Absolutely.
And go above and beyond. So I'm grateful that our team really works long hours, early, late, do whatever it takes to
Mm-hmm.
engage with the students and meet them where they are. That's one thing that I will say. If we need to go to the residential hall, we will.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have learned the art of social distancing and connecting with students. We
Right.
had staggered move-ins yesterday for our brotherhood and sisterhood scholars. The extended orientation is officially on the way, and it is in progress until EMU Connect takes over Friday. So we are excited that we have our students. We want them to get better adjusted to our campus,
Mm-hmm.
and really, again, university life and expectations, get used to Canvas. It seems like everything is happening on that learning management system, since everything
Right.
continues to be,
Right.
a lot of things continue to be virtual. And then I really respect housing for the living learning community that they allow us to have with our students.
Isn't that amazing? Like I absolutely love that aspect as far as the living learning community. I know when I was here when they very first kicked it off, and ooh, I'm telling my age, but back in like what was it, 2001, going into that school year, and that's when the village was first built,
Okay.
and
Okay.
that's where it all began. I was one of the first people to stay in the village, and it was coordinated by grade and your interest and all of that. And I have again that whole living
Fine memory time. Fine.
listen, the living and learning communities holds a very special place in my heart, because I have a whole lot of now I can say lifelong friends because of opportunities like that. So I know with brotherhood, sisterhood, you guys have that on top of the program. So you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Absolutely, and you just did a marketing plug for for why we need programs like this, because they're smaller, they're specialized. It is
Mm-hmm.
very tailored to the needs of the particular student groups, and it really builds community. And bringing them in early before classes start and other students move in, the goal is to have them bond, and we really have a lot in place to help build professional and career development abilities.
Mm-hmm.
And our friends from the College of Education work with us to provide some instructors to help teach our first semester course, Counseling 100, which is more career focused. But it definitely it takes a village, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our wonderful friends in the College of Education, specifically counseling and leadership, have done a lot to support us. Prior to me inheriting brotherhood and sisterhood, I do want to say, from a historical context, that Dr. Raul Leon
Mm-hmm.
was facilitating and overseeing it, in addition to teaching his classes. The original person, Reggie Barnes, who was here and started the program, from the historical context, it started back in 2014, specifically with the Brotherhood, has evolved to Sisterhood in 2016. The both programs came over to Academic Success Partnerships in 2018, and we combined them and worked them in tandem. Um, and the coordinator for the program, they realized Dr. Leon was correct that you need a specific coordinator for the program. In 2019, here we are, and our first extended orientation was in 2019, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't able to have it last year, of course, but we're hoping that this year you will become Auntie or Aunt
That
Taquan.
listen, that was everybody. I loved it. Like they legit was like, hey, I would walk around campus. They were like, "Hey, auntie," and I would turn and be like, "Hey," and end up holding a whole
Yes,
conversation with
yes.
them, and even tapped into what they were doing and how they were transitioning, and it was a great
Well, see, that
experience.
means that they were comfortable and the students
Mhm.
have a bond, and that's
Yeah.
what it's about. We
Hmm.
want them to be engaged and involved on campus, and that really makes the university what it is. When you have the students being
Absolutely.
involved, we encourage student organization participation. We really encourage them to go to athletic events, to look at different programs and look at things differently, and just try
Hmm.
and have different experiences, learn from different opportunities. We all make mistakes. Dust yourself off, try again. If you didn't pass that class, guess what? It's not the end of the world. Take it again, learn the lessons from it, and let's move forward.
I
That's
love it.
that's what we really try to govern our work with.
and you guys are doing a magnificent job. So I want to end this out because we don't want to keep you long, because I know you're in extended orientation now with
Busy. It's busy.
program. So tell us like your top like 5 things, or even top 3, recommendations as students are gearing up to come back on campus. We want them to be successful as far as their college experience is concerned. And if you have not grabbed any nuggets from this live today, I suggest you go back, put it on replay, because Elise gave some knowledge and laid it all out, even for folks who have already transitioned, out of college, parents, alums, donors, whatever the case may be, followers that just might not go to Eastern. There's some stuff here for each and every one of y'all. I know there's some things you said. I was like, ooh, I need to apply that. Like, that was good.
So I'm glad you said that, and I appreciate it. I'm humbled by those remarks, but it really is about making sure that the students, it takes a village, that the
Absolutely.
students understand that we are here to help and support them. And even if they are not in one of our assigned programs, one program I forgot to acknowledge was Detroit Promise. Those
Yes.
scholars are coming, and we have a nice number of those students arriving as well. But the thing is, the importance of reciprocity, giving back, that regardless of where people come from, and it's wonderful this year in our brotherhood sisterhood cohort, we have someone from Missouri,
Wow.
Chicago, of course, Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
and in our various areas in Southeast Michigan and a few other states that I'm missing. It's really nice to get a diverse array of students coming together and learning from each other and here to support each other through this process and continuing to persist. The commitment, again, I can't drive that. We make sure for any students, to your point about the 3 to 5 points, get organized, make sure time management is essential. I cannot explain the importance of the community. If you have anyone, whether they're at Eastern or not, if you know a college student, send them some love, send them a care package every once in a while. Just show up there in unexpected ways. Send them $50. You know they are hungry. Remember what it was like when we were trying to go to college. And I also want to talk about the communication piece. I do hope that the guardians, the parents, the village communicate to their students, their loved one, the importance of making sure you honor and respect the situation and times that we're living in.
Absolutely.
We do not take COVID lightly. We definitely wear a mask inside, but we want to make sure the students know how to stay clean and hygiene and make sure that you're sharing a bathroom. Clean up after yourself in your room and just make sure they up and look out for each other. That to me is very important, to make sure that they understand the importance of that cooperation and community living. And then if you see someone struggling, and you know that you can help them or point them in the right direction, take a few minutes to do that. Help someone else out. If you don't have the time, please just make it a priority to say, I can't do anything. This is beyond my skill set. But there are people that can help you. One thing that I am really excited about this year, just this month, we are using some grant funds to have a department mental health therapist. And I'm excited about that. Absolutely. She brings tons of support and experience. And again, we recognize and respect that depression, anxiety is real, all these transitions. And people have really been impacted by COVID, and no one talks about that enough. And how that leaves voids in our students' lives, and we still want to pick them up. A lot of people have experienced that in their families and in their homes. And so we are sensitive to that. We try to, again, meet students where they are and just love them up and help them get to the classroom. So we do stuff to get them to the classroom.
That's it. That is it. Well, I'm excited about this year, and I'm excited about all the programs that ASP has going on. And Again, we want you to get connected with academic success partnerships. You can go to emich.edu/ASP for additional information about their various programs, to get a hold to Elise as well as her magnificent team over there.
The team, yes.
Yes, I love the team over there. So thank you again so much for taking time out of your schedule to talk to us today about ASP and all the programs. And again, we're excited about moving forward and the overview of all that we have going on. Thank you, our viewers, for watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Again, keep it locked for EMU Safe Welcome Back edition. We'll be back tomorrow around 12:30 with orientation and campus life. So your last minute burning questions that you have about EMU Connect, formerly known as First Three, by all means, make sure that you join us tomorrow, again around 12:30, right here on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Thank you again, Elise, for joining us.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you so much. And again, thank you to all our viewers. And you guys have a magnificent and amazing day.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
No problem.